Hey guys, it's Hannah here, and today I'm here with my October makeup basket recap. Actually doing this pretty close to one time for once. Alright, let's get into the things I was using for the month of October and what I thought of them. Primers. You all know there's not really too much change in primers at the moment. Too Faced Primed and Peachy Cooling Matte Skin Perfecting Primer. The Urban Decay Optical Illusion Complexion Primer. Now I didn't use this too much. Instead I was using more of the Tatcha Silk Canvas when I did fill in my pores. My drawer's a little bit full. Kind of liked this. I don't know how... I got it on today. I like it. I don't know if it's worth the ridiculous price tag that it is for a full size. Now I've used it 3 times and you can barely see a dent. Well, you can see a dent, but it's a very small dent. So, I don't know. I think I need to play with it a little bit more before I finalize my opinions on it. I did break out my Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer because I did have a couple of events, which, if you guys have been around my channel for any length of time, events makeup is Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer, Estee Lauder Double Wear, set with MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural. That is the makeup I wear when I need my makeup to last all day. Simple. So, I had to break out this for that. I'm so glad I have that back. And then the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer Mattifying Primer. I used this when I used the last remnants of my Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. If you guys don't know, if you didn't see my finale for my Full Face Project Pan, I finally finished this one up. This is an extremely mattifying primer, very similar to the Becca Ev Matte Poreless Primer. Use a very, very small amount of this and put it just where you need it. Just on your nose, and even then, smallest amount, because if you apply too much, it's not that it can grab strangely. One time I put way too much on and I put the foundation on. And it didn't grab the foundation. Like the foundation was sliding around, so I had to basically conceal my whole nose to make it sit. But it's a very finicky primer. And I knew that going into it that it was a finicky primer, and I knew that I specifically was getting it to wear with my stick foundations. So I'm going to try it with the Lancome one soon. But yes, just be aware of that, which is why I only bought small size. So I used a lot of primers last month. Foundations, not so much. Used my Hourglass, and then I used my Peach Perfect, which is in my Finish 10 by New Year's. I did use a new product. Sorry, let me grab it. For something I've mentioned as an issue with this foundation for a while. I have the shade Snow. What I really need is the shade Swan, because on its own this is too dark for me. So I picked up this last month or the month before, the Ultra 3 Lightning drops. Now I do have the darkening drops that I have in my kit, but just 1 drop of this in 2 pumps of this makes my perfect colour, and I'm really glad that I picked these up. They're like $15 or something. They're really good. They don't change the consistency or the way it wears either. It's great. Alright, concealer. Where did my corrector go? Did I put it back? I had the Becca Under Eye Corrector. Apparently I put, not the Becca Under Eye. No. I had the Benefit Boing Brightening Concealer as my under eye corrector. I don't know where that went. For concealer, the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. The new one, not the original one. This is freaking incredible. Again, this I have in the shade Swan, which is my actual shade, in Too Faced products. Too Faced products run very yellow. I like a yellow under eye concealer because I find it quite brightening while concealing. This has great coverage. People compare it a lot to the Tarte Shape Tape. Spoiler alert, I'm using that in the month of November because I want to be able to draw a good comparison between the two. But on first impressions, you need to be careful with how much of the Tarte you use to not overuse it. Now I've used a lot today because I'm going out tonight, so I wanted that porcelain under eye. But on a daily basis, it is possible to go way too overboard with the Tarte. This I feel like not so much. This I feel like I had a little bit more movement with it. Like, not movement, I could play with it a little bit more. And that worked quite well for me. powders. Have I already moved this powder? I used up the Cover FX loose powder. Finally, I hated that stuff. Not good for the under eye. Fine for the face, was okay. Not fussed. Terrible for the under eye, so I have the Too Faced Peach Perfect Mattifying Loose Setting Powder as an under eye powder. Really nice. Again, stay tuned for my November ones because I haven't been using my November ones for long, but I still really like the powder I've been using under my eyes this month. And it's pretty cheap. And it does not make me crepey and dry like the Cover FX did. I don't know what, that powder just doesn't work for me. I know a lot of people like it, it just didn't work for me. Cheeky Cheekies, we had the Benefit Physicians Formula Bronze Booster Bronzer, which was in my Full Face Project pan. Again, I finished that one up. Still have some product in this. Blush, Too Faced Love Flush Blush in Baby Love. This is a beautiful blush. You guys know, if you've been watching my makeup artist for any length of time, I have a cool tone blush and a warm tone blush every month. I used my cool tone blush more this month, I think, but I still love this blush. It's beautiful and it lasts forever. 16 hour cool tone blush. I had the MAC Nutcracker Sweet Peach Face Compact. I don't know why this is called peach because neither of these colours are particularly peachy. Got a cool tone pink, which is the blush in At Dusk. This is stunning. The Extra Dimension blush formula is beautiful. You do need a stiffer brush. I use the IT Cosmetics Chic blush brush, but any of the IT Cosmetics, this is a synthetic brush. Most of my blush brushes are natural hair, which is why I use this or the Sephora Pro Featherweight Complexion brush. They're the two, yeah, they're pretty much the two blush application brushes I have that are not natural hair. Too Faced you can use either with. And then this highlighter is just so blinding. This is the Extra Dimension Skin Finish in Tutu. The Extra Dimension Skin Finishes are just beautiful, but they do need to be buffed into the skin so that you don't get like stripe. When you buff it in, you get that wet finish rather than stripe of highlight. Like I have one on today that I've just buffed in really well. Recommendation with that. Something you don't have to buff in, the Anastasia Glow Kit in Sugar. Starburst is the best colour ever. It's very similar. See, you don't have to buff that one in anywhere near as much. See? And Marshmallow are my... Marshmallow? Yeah, Starburst and Marshmallow are my go-to. I did use Gumdrop once when I wanted a pinky shift. Butterscotch could use on the eyes, but I don't really want to. Love the formula of the Anastasia Glow Kits. If you find a colour you enjoy, get it. Eyes. Brows, pretty similar. We know what they are. NYX Precision Brow Pencil, Anastasia Brow Wiz, Benefit Gimme Brow. I'm so glad I have this back in my collection. I was using the Essence Make Me Brows and Blondie Brows, and it's just not the same. Having this one back, even though it's not the same as the original, it doesn't have as many fibres in it as the old one did. That's because strange people decided to put it on this mascara and got fibres in their eyes, and it became a thing. But I love this stuff. It's worth the splurge. Bases, I had the MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. I have the Stila Shimmer and Glow in Grace, and the Glitter and Glow in Peachy Sheen. I knew it was words today. So, yes, those were the things I was using as eye bases. Now, I ended up throwing this palette in about halfway through the month when I was kind of getting... I made this month pretty much all cool tones because I wanted cool tones when I started the month, and then I got about halfway through and I wanted some more tones. This is the Colourade Queen of Hearts palette. Princess is the most beautiful transition shade on me. Looks if I actually stick my finger in. It's a gorgeous like pinky tone, but it's a warm pink tone. It's beautiful. Majesty, Your Majesty and Royal Highness both went beautifully over the top of the Stila Shimmer and Glow, but you don't need to. They're really beautiful metallic foily shades. Didn't play with the purples this time around. I really need to give this palette a little bit more love. It's just so beautiful, but it just gets stuck in my collection. As I said, I started off with pretty much cool tones this month, the Colourpop Fame palette. If you have a standard 9-to-5 job in an office, or you don't like wearing lots of makeup to work, this is going to be your palette. This is gorgeous for really natural eyes. Stardom was, again, the colour I used a lot in the crease of my eye, a little bit darker than Princess, or Razzle if I didn't want something as pink. I used these top 2 rows on a daily, and then I would adventure into these slightly. I used Posh, I used Debutante, and I used Clubhouse, and I used Privy. I didn't use any of the dark ones. I could have used Lifestyle today when I decided I needed black. The only colour in here that's a little bit funky is Extravaganza. It's one of their glittery shades, but on the inner corner it's really pretty. Really gorgeous palette. Definitely one I would recommend picking up. Now, if you like neutral tones but something a little bit darker, the Natasha Denona 5-pan palette in the palette number 2. Shell is the most beautiful transition shade ever. I will use either Rosewood or Lavender Grey on the lid, light coral on the inner corner, and then maroon is almost if I want to warm things up a little bit. So I've used it on the lowest lash line. I use it kind of as an extra crease colour, like above my transition almost. Strange. Sometimes I use light coral all over the lid if I want something a little bit lighter. These shadows are beautiful, definitely pricier palette, but worth it in my opinion. Eyeliners this month. You guys know I love the Marc Jacobs eyeliner. There's another one. Earthquake, Blacker, and Blacker Berry in the skinny pencil. I also played with this month, and I have it on today, the Glitz Blitz glitter liner. This stuff is beautiful. Coming into summer, it's the kind of like I think it's described as a copper. It's kind of like a peachy with a glitter on the lower lash line to just brighten things up. It's beautiful. Marc Jacobs eyeliners are incredible. I obviously love the formula since I have one of every formula. Lovely. Mascara. We have retired 2 of my favourite mascaras. Tarte Lights Camera Lashes is my go-to everyday mascara. Don't need too much going on day to day, just pop it some little bit on to darken and thicken up my lashes and look really fluttery and natural. Lights Camera Lashes is my go-to. When I have something like liner on and things like that, I go in with the Stila Huge Lash and then I separate with this. This gives you some huge lashes, but sometimes it gets a little clumpy, which is why I go in with the Tarte on top. They're now in the 3-month and they smell like alcohol, so they're definitely going. Lips. I can't seem to change up my lip liners because these 2 just stay here. Huda, Muse, and MAC Dervish. MAC I have on today. Huda's a more deeper mauvey. They go with everything. They go with everything and I love them. Lipsticks, Kat Von D, Charlotte Tilbury Bits Perfect, Marc Jacobs Role Play lip glosses were MAC Nutty and Naughty and Urban Decay Naked. Setting my face with Urban Decay All Nighter because I'm finishing that up as well. That is it for the things I used on my face for the month of October. Stay tuned. I'm going to film what I'm using for the month of November right now.